It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Happiness depends upon ourselves. Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but we rather have those because we have acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. A friend to all is a friend to none. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Those that know, do. Those that understand, teach. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. All human actions have one or more of these 7 causes: chance, nature, compulsion, habit, reason, passion, and desire. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. The worst form of inequality is to try to make unequal things equal. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. To avoid criticism, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Quality is not an act. It is a habit. What is a friend? A single soul dwelling in 2 bodies. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. The high-minded man must care more for the truth than for what people think. The educated differ from the uneducated, as much as the living differ from the dead. The aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. Wishing to be friends is quick work, but friendship is a slow ripening fruit. Without friends, no one would choose to live, though he had all other goods. The one exclusive sign of thorough knowledge is the power of teaching. What lies in our power to do, it lies in our power not to do. For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them. It is the mark of an instructed mind to rest satisfied with the degree of precision which the nature of the subject admits, and not to seek exactness when only an approximation of the truth is possible. Courage is the first of human qualities because it is the quality which guarantees the others. Man is by nature a social animal. An individual who is unsocial naturally and not accidentally is either beneath our notice or more than human. Society is something that precedes the individual. The law is reason, free from passion. The ideal man bears the accidents of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances. All men by nature desire to know. It is the nature of desire not to be satisfied, and most men live only for the gratification of it. It is possible to fail in many ways, while to succeed is possible only in one way. No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. Poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. The wise man does not expose himself needlessly to danger, since there are few things for which he cares sufficiently, but he is willing, in great crises, to give even his life, knowing that under certain conditions it is not worth living. Men acquire a particular quality by constantly acting in a particular way. Misfortune shows those who are not really friends. The least initial deviation from the truth is multiplied later 1,000-fold. Dignity does not consist in possessing honors, but in deserving them. All paid jobs absorb and degrade the mind. The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living from the dead. Education is the best provision for old age. The only stable state is the one in which all men are equal before the law. One swallow does not make a summer, neither does one fine day. Similarly, one day or brief time of happiness does not make a person entirely happy. It is easy to perform a good action, but not easy to acquire a settled habit of performing such actions. We become just by doing just acts, temperate by doing temperate acts, brave by doing brave acts. Democracy is when the indigent, and not the men of property, are the rulers. All men are by nature equal, made all of the same earth by one workman. And however we deceive ourselves, as dear unto God is the poor peasant as the mighty prince. Happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life, the whole aim and end of human existence. No excellent soul is exempt from a mixture of madness. Hope is a waking dream. Even when laws have been written down, they ought not always to remain unaltered. The beginning of reform is not so much to equalize property, as to train the noble sort of natures not to desire more, and to prevent the lower from getting more. Man perfected by society is the best of all animals. He is the most terrible of all when he lives without law and without